What's up, Royal Affairs family?
This is Roy.
And I'm Yolanda.
And we are guides in Royal Affairs, where we show you
Affairs done right. So we are back with part 2 of what are the signs of true remorse after experiencing infidelity. But before we go into that, thank you guys so much for joining in with us.
Thank you.
This channel is all about sharing our story of infidelity and how we are using travel as a pathway to healing. We're inviting other couples to come along and join us for the ride. If infidelity is a part of your story or some other kind of breach of trust, then please share this video, like, subscribe, and stay tuned.
Indeed. So make sure as well that you go back and look at part 1 if you missed that part, because we're talking about 4 signs of true remorse after infidelity. So in the previous video, we talked about taking full accountability. We talked about having some consistency in action and words.
We talked about how our youngest son, we had to let him know, you just can't say I'm sorry and keep on taking your sister's toys, or taking her Barbie doll or whatever. You just can't keep saying that and then doing the same thing. And he has gotten better. He's 8 now. He's gotten better at it. But y'all keep praying for us.
Keep praying. Keep praying. So today we're going to be talking about point number 3, empathy for your pain, and then a commitment to rebuilding the relationship. Will round out our top 4.
Yeah. So another sign of having true remorse is the betrayer, the person that did the betraying, just really showing empathy and understanding the level of pain that has been caused by their actions, right? Not like you said in one of the last video, like you did this and so I did this. You did this and so I did this. But no, just actually sitting down, listening to what your partner is saying, how the things they're saying, what they are expressing to you, and being able to empathize with how they feel, because they've been dealt a great blow, and they're feeling hurt, they're feeling angry, they're feeling confused and scared and frustrated, and all of those things rolled into one. And showing that you are understanding of those feelings because of your actions is a sign of true remorse.
Yeah, and one of the things in our counseling session, you'll hear us say this, quite often. The result of those therapy sessions allowed the space and opportunity. Could we have tried that on our own, in our own home, to try and create a space where Yolanda could share what her pain was, and then me not necessarily defend that at every point, say, no, I did this, you did, well, when you did this, well, I did this. At the time, immediately after the affair was discovered and we went into counseling, I wasn't prepared or had the skill set to be able to self-facilitate, having those types of conversations. So having that neutral third party that's knowledgeable to be able to ask the right questions, to probe Yolanda, to really explore what her feelings were, and then have me sit there and listen, and then the therapist having me to kind of play that back, and as well, well, Roy, do you understand? And us just kind of walking through that, and it didn't happen overnight. So having that empathy, just to sometimes just be able to sit there and listen with a posture of openness. Sometimes at first, early on, I may have been.
No, not me. You were.
Okay, she put me out there on blast.
No, I'm just letting everyone know,
But over time, because initially you feel exposed, like, man, I let my wife down, and man, this is something that we'll have to work through, but it's not comfortable, not comfortable at all.
Right.
But having that space to listen, and having that empathy.
Right. And what else helped was because when you are working through this process of grief and healing, at least for me, I am an analytical person. And so I am rapid fire throwing questions, and I'm like, okay, this. And at one point you were like, no, I don't want to answer. I don't want to answer. And that frustrated me, on so many levels. And it took our therapist to say, hey, the worst has happened. Right? Mm-hmm. And that would be the affair. So answering questions that Yolanda poses to you, that's not what's hurting her. You've already done that. So now let's help this healing process and answer any questions that she may have, whether she asks it a million times or not. Don't become defensive. Understand and know that it ain't about you, Batman. Right? Spider-Man. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I knew where you were going.
So that is also a great help in, not becoming defensive and building that trust, because if you are able to, sit there and allow me to share my feelings and share my thoughts with you and process that hurt. And for me, I'm talking through my feelings, but you are there, sitting in that and allowing me that space to do that. That is actually building trust. So that's stepping towards in the right direction.
Yeah. Having that space where empathy can be shared and then gleaned from the other person.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so then another. Lastly, definitely number four, definitely not the only ones, but having a commitment to rebuild the relationship. And that is a question that you would have to ask, yourself, like, do I want to commit to rebuild this relationship? Because the answer for you may be no, and that's quite okay. The answer may be yes. And so if the answer is yes, then you both have to be committed to rebuilding the relationship. Right. And that person who was the partner that betrayed the spouse has to put in a lot of work to show and to prove that, I really want to, rebuild this relationship. You're taking those intentional steps,
right?
To take full accountability, to be consistent in your actions, to, share that you have empathy for that person's pain, and you're being intentional about what steps are needed, additional steps that are needed to be taken to build on that.
Yeah, and one of the realizations that I came to just kind of on my own, and after talking with the therapist as well, as the betrayer, one of the things that I realized was taking those intentional steps. Sometimes the same steps that were taken before were not given the same, rate of return, if you will, as actions before. So if you think about trust as a bank account, and Yolanda's a person that doesn't give trust, you have to earn trust. So if me, coming home on time used to be a deposit of $5, just now doing that is only worth $1, because she's like, well, that worked before, but now it's even more important for you to be able to share that, or to not have individual lunches with the opposite sex. So what used to have a large return now doesn't necessarily have as large a return. So the consistency needed to be there so that I could put more deposits into her trust account. And that took an intentionality, because at that point we're trying to repair the damage that was done. And this kind of, and we've been talking about this as well, is this also maybe intentionally seeking a professional help. So we sought out and found a therapist that worked for both of us. Actually went through a few, to make sure that we got to a point where we landed with someone that was going to be able to help us improve that communication, and then that we can make long-term efforts towards strengthening our relationship.
Right. And what it takes for one couple may be something totally different. For another couple. Is like Roy said, I am one that I'm not one that's going to give trust. You have to earn it. Well, for someone who actually gives trust, then you may need to be intentional about something else.
Right.
For us, another one was definitely on communication. So we're still not experts. We have gotten so much better at being able to improve our communication.
What'd you say?
We have gotten so much better at being able to improve our communication, and so that's something that is inherently important. No matter who the relationship is with, definitely someone that is your partner. You're agreeing that we are going to rebuild this relationship, and so you have to set that foundation of being able to communicate. Right. So. Again, not all of the things that we have said are the end all be all.
Correct.
There are definitely a lot more that people can. There are definitely a lot more that can be done to show true remorse.
Correct.
We just wanted to make sure that we came on here and gave a couple of them that definitely resonated and worked with us. And so if any of these tips helped you, then feel free to take them. If you found something that in your relationship that we didn't mention and you would like to share it with us, we'd love to hear your comments.
Yeah, drop them in the comments.
We will be back to share some more questions and provide some more tips that have helped us. But in the meantime, if you enjoy what you hear,
smash that like button. And then as well, go ahead and make sure you subscribe. Easy for me to say. Subscribe to the channel so that you're aware of when our next videos will drop. And until then, I'm Roy.
I'm Yolanda.
And we're your guides in Royal Affairs, where we show you
affairs done right. See you guys next time.